Hello and welcome to the exhibition Harmony, Contrast and Discord. My name is Bryan and I've been working on the show, and today I'm going to guide you through some parts of the exhibition.
This project looks at the history and legacy of art schools and more broadly art education. The catalyst for this exhibition is an ongoing project by writer John Beck and artist Matthew Cornford, who have been tracking down art schools across the UK and recording them both photographically and textually for the past decade. The show represents photographs and texts of art schools from the northwest of England and questions the value of arts in society and how this has changed through history. You'll also find out about the history of Rochdale Art School, the people who studied and taught there, and the wider ecology of arts education. The title, Harmony, Contrast and Discord, is taken from the chapter titles of a book called Suggestions for the Study of Colour, written by Henry Barrett Carpenter, the first headmaster of Rochdale School of Art in 1915. These terms describe the visual relationship between colours, but the words also capture the spirit of the art schools presented in this show, along with their histories and stories. The first part of the exhibition looks at the history of Rochdale Art School. Art schools in the UK often evolved out of mechanics institutes or technical schools, and many were opened in the 19th century by industrialists, workers and civic leaders to provide factories and workshops with a skilled labour force. With its strong textile industry, Rochdale Technical School was opened in 1893, and the School of Art was added in 1906. The Victorian building had elaborate stained glass windows and a terracotta frieze demonstrating civic pride. Sadly, in 1969, disaster struck when a fire ripped through the building. It reopened at a costly repair, but by this time the classes had moved to a new purpose-built facility on College Road, now known as Hopwood Hall College. The original building closed in 1989 and was subsequently demolished. The terracotta frieze depicting spinning and metalworking was preserved and is displayed in the car park where the building once stood.
The idea of art school, especially in the post-war years, gave these spaces an aura of excitement. For multiple generations of students, art school became a rite of passage, not only for those wanting to become professional visual artists, but also for musicians, writers, and those wanting to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. As part of this project, we've got in touch with some of the former staff and students who went to the art school and presented them here in this exhibition.
Here is a painting by Jack Crabtree, who was one of the first students under the new headmaster Leopold Solomon in the 1950s. He went on to study at St Martin's School of Art and the Royal Academy Schools, and then returned to teach in Rochdale shortly after. His distinctive figurative style won him a major commission from the National Coal Board to capture the changing face of the South Wales coalfields in the 1970s. Jenny Lomax studied at the art school in the late 60s and then went on to study at Maidstone College of Art. Her training as a maker enabled her to view society differently, and this informed her career as a curator, educator and writer. With her ethos of enabling others to access and discover art in its many forms, she revolutionised the arts education programme at Whitechapel Gallery from 1979 to 1990. She then later became the director of Camden Arts Centre and received an OBE for her services to the visual arts in 2009. Given to the students at the school, these sketchbooks from the 1980s were owned by visual artist, fashion illustrator, poet and musician Stuart Mackenzie, who studied at Rochdale College of Art in the early 80s. Inspired by many local bands in Middleton, such as the Chameleons, he gravitated towards music and visual culture. He went on to study at St Martin's School of Art and later became studio assistant with designer Vivienne Westwood.
We now head into the next part of the exhibition. As recently as the 1960s, there were over 150 art schools across the UK. Most of them have either closed, been absorbed into higher education institutions, their buildings repurposed, remodelled or demolished.
Since 2009, writer John Beck and artist Matthew Cornford have been tracking down the locations of British art schools and photographing these places as they are today. Sometimes the original buildings remain, sometimes they are in transition as building sites, and sometimes supermarkets, or, as in Rochdale, car parks have taken their place. In this gallery, we present the photographs taken by Beck and Cornford of art school sites in the northwest of England, once an integral aspect of the creative life of the region. The aim is to celebrate and reflect on the prominent place they once held, both actual and imagined, but also to consider the future state of arts education and the transformational role creativity can play in all our lives. Indeed, it is interesting to think about the creative rediscovery that has taken place during the pandemic.
Finally, the last part of this exhibition is a think tank space, presenting new models of alternative art education. This exhibition has given us time to reflect and think about the state of art education and its provision, and we want you to be part of that conversation too. For the duration of the show, we put together a free programme of talks, workshops, discussions, online and in person, by a range of makers and thinkers. We hope to see you there.